First, a quick word on the phenomenon of hyperfocusing. Hyperfocusing is a pitfall of stimulant therapy. I consider it a side effect. And what it consists of is being, as the name implies, hyperfocused on a task. And it occurs when a person is really overstimulated. It's usually an indication that the dose is too high. And what it consists of is being riveted on a task or on a project. Now, tenacity is something that we typically want. Patients, a lot of times, whether they have ADD or not, if the target symptoms are procrastination and inattention and not following through on tasks, if those are the target symptoms, whatever's causing them, whether it's a major mood disturbance or whether it's textbook ADD, ADHD, or some other condition that's resulting in those target symptoms, and the patient is a good candidate for therapy, and we prescribe stimulant therapy. And one of the side effects that they can have can actually be confused as a beneficial effect, as a therapeutic effect, because the patient thinks, good, I'm attending, I'm tenacious, I'm not letting go of this task. But the problem is that when people are overly focused, they're not actually getting anything done. And so that's one very good way of testing to see if your attention is too much, is to ask yourself, what have I accomplished after these 2 hours that I've spent researching something on the internet? And a lot of times the internet these days is a big culprit. People will be sitting in front of their computer and they'll be clicking and opening things. I call it going down a rabbit hole. And after an hour or two or more, the person hasn't accomplished what they set out to accomplish. So whatever it was they were researching, whatever it was they were supposed to procure or complete, they actually haven't gotten done. Or if they have gotten it done, it's way out of proportion. The time spent is way out of proportion to how long it should have taken. And that's because the person is overly focused on the minutiae, on details that may be really extraneous, irrelevant. And so what happens is a person becomes very focused on a task. Usually they're sitting at a desk or in front of a computer, and they refuse breaks. They ignore family. They forget to eat, skip meals, and that sort of thing, because they're literally just sitting there in a sort of a trance. And so it's a common phenomenon. I think it's probably more likely to happen if we're not treating actual ADD and if the dose is too high. But be cautious about it. Not only is it a huge waste of time, but obviously forgetting to eat is not good. It can lead to hypoglycemia. You can make yourself sick. Some people will even defer going to the bathroom. I mean, when it's really severe, you're sitting there holding it. I've heard that a couple times. But it's not only a waste of time, but if the dose is so high that you're doing that, then likely it's also having deleterious effects elsewhere, be it on sleep, on your blood pressure, or on some other parameter that's unrelated to tasks and how you're attending to tasks and how you're finishing tasks, but which is still related to just being on too much medication. It can be combated by being mindful, by adjusting the dosage, and by setting time limits, being very structured in your task completion and paying attention to how much time you're spending and what it is you're doing, and not getting bogged down in the details and not getting distracted by wanting to know, looking something up on Wikipedia and then just all these tangents that can happen. It's ironic because sometimes, although the patient feels focused, they're actually focused on a bunch of tangents. And they really need to, if they were just attending to the task at hand, they'd be done in no time.